Everybody, welcome back to the Tony's Big Sporting Show. I'm Tony T here with you every day at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Get my life replaced for today's card. And on today's card, we'll have picks for you here from NFL. There are 2 games here on the board for today. Also, picks for you here from college football, an 8-game bowls for today. So lots rolling today here on the show. Of course, make sure you guys hit that like, that subscribe. We greatly appreciate it. It really helps us build up our audience. We'll also be producing a 9-game card here again here from the NBA. Single here from college basketball. And if we get a hockey guy in here, then we will have NHL coverage for you today. Of course, Rod will be around with the Daily Dangle here at 1 p.m. Eastern Time with this big card from the NHL as we return back from the Christmas break. So far, flying solo. We'll see if we get anybody to join me here, guys. As we said, make sure you hit that like, that subscribe. We greatly appreciate it. Just want to make sure I gave out the right link. Sometimes I had another thing going on in the background here. Let me see if it's the right link here. 67. Let's see here. Did I send out the right link? I did send out the right link. All right, so go ahead and get rolling here with the show. Hey, maybe I'll invite some of you guys in the show as well. Maybe I'll do that. I haven't done that for a while, right? So big card for today. So if you want to join me, well, if you want to apply, we are looking for cappers. So if you like to apply as a capper, just send us an email, the link in the description. Or if you want to just do a nice quick audition or a long audition, here's the link. There you go. It's right there. All right. I like, subscribe, greatly appreciate that. So let's get the show underway. We'll start with the NFL. 2 games on the board here from the NFL. We have Texas and Chargers. Chargers about a 1.5 favorite, total of 39.5. Then we go to Ravens and Packers. It's the Packers 3, total 38.5. Of course, Ravens must win out and the Steelers to lose out to make the playoffs. They can only win the division. They cannot get in there as a wild card. Of course, the Chargers win out and they become the AFC West champions, and it could be looking at a 1 seed there. So big games here today with playoff implications. Weather, well, it's a dome in the Chargers. The field is covered with a roof. Ravens and Green Bay, we're looking here at 37 degrees, 9-mile-per-hour wind, 11% chance here of rain in that one. Let's take a look here at the games, what I like here out of these 2 contests here for today. Let me see if I get my NFL updated here. Give me 1 second. NFL for today. I'll definitely be looking at taking the points here with the Ravens in this one, but I'll start with the Texans Chargers. Yeah, I'm going to take LA Chargers here. Probably money line it here about 111, 115. You guys can check out the numbers, get your best numbers here. What really got my attention here is how the Chargers at home, they put up home wins here against playoff contenders. Eagles, Steelers, Colts, and Broncos, all wins. You look at the Texans here, when they faced playoff teams in the Jaguars, Seahawks, and Rams, they lost those 3 games. So if you look at that angle there, I like it. Both teams in a win streaks here, but LA's won 7 of 8. Good running and solid defense here. I'm a little concerned here with this Texans passing game here on the road. Has not been efficient here. Just 5.8 yards per pass attempt with their quarterback play on the road, and they've averaged just 3.7 yards per rush. There's always concern here with the Texans' offensive production here on the road, especially against a playoff team like the Chargers. They've not had success against playoff teams this year, so on the road. So I'll look here at the Chargers in that one. Ravens and Packers in this game. I'm going to be looking here at Baltimore. I'm going to take the 3 in the hook there. And, this situation here is obviously the injuries. As we talked about, Malik Willis is expected to start for Jordan Love. And Love is also, Willis, I said, is also dealing with issues to his shoulder and illness. Clayton Tune is the emergency backup for Willis here. But you remember Willis in his time with Tennessee dealt with accuracy issues, but he got better today. He got better with his time with the Packers, showing a little bit more effectiveness. Tyler Huntley looks like he's going to start, but he is completing 76% of his passes for 7 yards per pass attempt. Remember, Packers have made the playoffs. Baltimore is not. The Packers' injuries on their offensive defensive line are a major concern here. Baltimore on the road has run the ball effectively, 6.5 yards a carry. Baltimore defense over the past month allowing just 3.3 yards per rush. And I think Packers will be focused on the run today with the quarterback injury. And also looking here at the injury numbers, the Chow rating really favors the Baltimore Ravens by a plus 11.5 net ratings point here Green Bay's offense has the lowest health rating, 69. But Green Bay is dealing with a banged-up offensive line. So that's also a concern. Also on defense, safety is questionable. But injury advantage there will put me on the Ravens in this spot plus the 3.5. All right, let's continue here on the Tony's Morning Show. I'd like to get everyone's contributions here in the chat for today. Shout out to everybody out there, guys like Andrew. Keep an eye there on the and that silver for us here. There we got our friend Elliot Jamison live from the Military Bowl. He likes the Pirates there. Yep, no quarterback there. He's going to be a backup in this one in the Military Bowl there. We'll see what happens. Yeah, no quit, we'll believe. I haven't seen much of you this year. I like that. So I don't. That probably tells you the fortunes of ECU not seeing Elliot in the chat this much this year. There. Good morning to you as well, Andrew. There, of course. What about you guys? You guys want to join us in the chat? Give us your opinions or do an audition for our site? More than welcome, dude. Right here's the link. All right, let's see here. Pritter, shout out to you here. Yes, of course, Andrew. Keep an eye on silver for us as well. And of course, Victor. We'll get to the NBA a little bit later here. Rockets in a big one today. That's one of the bigger games as well there. So Ron Hahn liking the Houston Texans here. Money line in that one from Ron Hahn. Yeah, probably be a lot of money line selections in this spot. All right, let's continue on. We'll take a look here at college football here. These bowl games, be honest with you, it's been kind of a disappointment for me, just the way of visually what they look like. Handicap-wise, I've been okay with them. Lot more free picks than premiums, obviously, for me this year. It's about the least amount of premiums I've had in a college football bowl year. And just kind of scrubbing through the opt-outs, the injuries, the coaching changes. I did find a best bet today in college football. It was hard pressed to find one, but I did there. But I also have an NFL best bet on the board today. So let's get to the college football for today. Got 8 games on the board. I guess I'm just here by myself. I'll just go one by one so I just don't confuse myself. Pitt and East Carolina Military Bowl. We got Pittsburgh here laying 13.5 here, total 52.5. This one is ballooned from an opener of 5. Man, based on the steam move, man, I don't know. That's a lot of steam there in this game, although we did see UTSA cover that move. But in this one, we take a look at the college football game here. It's this 11 a.m. start in this spot, Annapolis, Maryland, 39 degrees, 11-mile-per-hour wind. That's not cold for football. That is not cold for football. You get cold when you get in the mid to low 20s. Actually, you get in the low 20s. That's when it's cold. I've hiked a lot in this type of temperature. 39 degrees is nothing. Light wind here. Several opt-outs from both teams. Pittsburgh's second and third leading rusher have opted out. 2 receivers as well as an offensive guard. ECU starting quarterback Caden Hauser thinks he can do better elsewhere. That is a concern there from me there. Both coordinators also for ECU have opted out and accepted other jobs. You know, Mason Heinschel, the Pittsburgh quarterback, he gets a start. Won the job in season with accuracy and efficiency. He'll have his weapons with running back Turner and 3 key receivers playing. Many defensive standouts play for Pittsburgh, including their leading tackler. ECU quarterback Michael Wright dealt with accuracy issues in the 4 teams he played with in his college career. Yeah, the backup has played in 4 different teams and not been very accurate there. Yeah, you know, I like Pittsburgh probably at no more than 10. I know my free pick had Pitt today, but no way. This line, I'm not going to lay it. To me, it's not worth laying the points. I wouldn't bet the game. And all of you guys looking to go against this team, I'm with you there. I would at this point with this line move, I could only look at ECU going against my free pick. But my free pick was around 10 in this game. But too much steam. The steam doesn't pay when you go against when you follow the sheep. It doesn't really work very well. So I agree with some of you guys with ECU. Yeah, this line movement is way too much. All right, let's go to Penn State and Clemson here. Clemson laying 2.5 total sits here at 47. Now this will be the this bowl game. We've got 31 degrees, 10-mile-per-hour wind, 5% chance of snow. So they're probably better to Penn State's liking than Clemson. But man, this game has a lot of opt-outs here. Probably the opt-out bowl of the game here. When you look at this one, Pinstripe Bowl played in Yankee Stadium. Penn State will be without 4 starters on the offensive line. Their top receiver, starting tight end, opted out. 5 key defensive players are going to miss. Clemson will be without 27 roster players, but their key losses come on the defense for Clemson. Quarterback Cade Klubnik said he's going to play he should play because he's dropped his draft stock has dropped considerably. One time, a first round projection, they've got him going in the last day of the draft, and he has really took a hit to his draft stock big time. So I think he needs to play and have a good showing here. It'll be Penn State freshman quarterback Ethan Gruckmeyer. It replaced an injured Drew Allard late in season. Well, we've seen Penn State here rally to make a bowl game with 3 state wins, but again, here it wasn't really against the tougher teams in the Big Ten. Penn State interim head coach. Most of the assistants are leaving this program after this bowl game. They're looking for other jobs. For me, it's just too much coaching chaos here with Penn State right now. A little bit more continuity, more intact coaching here with Clemson. Their staff is intact. I'll look at Clemson in this spot. Too many offensive linemen out here for Penn State, and of course the coaching situation's a mess. I'll look for them here. I like to fade the interims anyway. All right, let's take a look at the next one here. Connecticut and Army. This one here is in the Fenway Bowl, played in Boston, 26 degrees, 8-mile-per-hour wind. It's cold, but it's playable cold. I don't consider this to be bad weather when it's in the. I've hiked in these temperatures before in the high 20s. It's not that bad actually, especially when you have gear on like the players do. And this one, we've got Army 7.5, 8 total 42. In this one, well, got a lot of opt out. Joe Fagnano has opted out with 2 offensive linemen and a running back. The key players on defense will be a corner and linebacker. Of course, remember Jim Mora took the job at Colorado State. Why? Connecticut, come on. How do you let Colorado State take your corner? You don't have money to pay this guy, Mora? You let him go to Colorado State? I don't know, man. That had me scratching my head. Although I think Colorado State is going to the Pac-10 or Pac-12 next year, whatever they're going to call it. Interim coach here for Connecticut. Their defensive coordinator is also leaving from Mississippi State, but he will coach in this bowl game, which to me, I don't know. I mean, I think his focus is on the other team. There will also be turnover for the Huskies assistants, but some will stay just to coach the bowl. Okay, again, their minds on their new team, not in this bowl game. Army team and their coaching staff stable. They have no opt-outs. Preparation, to me, preparation is a big concern here for UConn as they face the triple option. UConn backup Nick Evers was inaccurate in 2024 when he saw significant action at quarterback. I can only look at Army here in this spot, this one here. All right, let's continue here on the Tony Hicks Morning Show. Yeah, exactly. How are you going to prepare for this triple option? That's exactly how I look at it. All right, appreciate everybody in the chat. Ron Hahn keeping it going, Twitter in there as well, Andrew as well. Guys, thanks for all your contributions in this one. All right, let's continue here on Tony Hicks Morning Show. We'll get to the next one today, Georgia Tech and BYU. This one, actually, you'll be surprised, not a whole lot of opt-outs in this game. Although there's talk that maybe the Utah coach Wingham may be looking to snag some of the BYU assistants. So some of the BYU assistants might be getting some phone calls. We'll see. BYU going to lay 3.5. Total sits here at 56. Kind of opened at 3.5. So there's been really not a whole lot of movement at all in this line move. Here, Yellow Jackets. This was a team that had sights for a playoff. They started the year 8-0, then they choked. They choked in November, and that's why they're in this bowl game. Pop-Tarts Bowl in Orlando, Florida, 75 degrees, light wind. No bowl opt-outs, significant ones from either side. Although BYU did lose their leading rusher to injury. Not only was the leading rusher, he was the Big 12 top runner in the game. I think running backs can be replaced there. I'm not worried about that. Georgia Tech lost their leading receiver to injury and their starting safety plus a defensive end. So it's been injuries here where they lose players, especially Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech lost their offensive coordinator, Florida. BYU will have their starting quarterback and receivers playing in this game. I think it's the key because Georgia Tech suffered 2 huge losses on defense in Manley and Powell Lee. Those are massive losses here, especially the pass rusher and the safety who kind of ran the secondary. Two of their defensive leaders out for Georgia Tech because of injury. Yellow Jackets defense down the stretch was really bad. They gave 48 points at NC State, and then 34 at a down BC, then 42 at home to Pittsburgh. In their final 3, and that was in their final 3 conference games. They looked terrible. BYU defended the run well and covered 9 of 13 this season. Matter of fact, their only losses came against Texas Tech. 2 losses against Texas Tech. So I'll look here at BYU laying that number here against Georgia Tech. I know Haynes King is a good quarterback. Didn't talk too much about their offense, but I just think those defensive injuries for Georgia Tech here are key in this game. All right, let's continue here. We'll look at the Arizona Bowl played in Tucson with Miami, Ohio, and Fresno State. And in this one, we got Fresno State going to be laying about 4.5, 5.5, total 40.5 in this one. Over on the CW network is where you're going to see it there. And our man, she's up here. He's up, says Sataki resigned, looking to continue success as well-prepared BYU group. Yep, they look to be that way. Because remember, there was rumors of Sataki looking at Michigan job. I think that was the rumors there, if I'm not mistaken. I think somebody was looking at him. He resigned. But again, the concern here is Winningham on the phone. There was some talk that he's been calling some of the BYU assistant coaches there. But, of course, Michigan can probably pay a little bit more than BYU, so he's probably looking to try to take some of those assistants. We'll see how that works there. But this Miami, Ohio, and Fresno State game there, Arizona Bowl, 66 degrees, light wind, but a 40% chance of rain. We've had some rain here in Southern California, so it might move its way out that way. Fresno State had 2 safeties at the transfer portal. Miami, Ohio has several bowl opt-outs, including a quarterback, DeQuan Finn, and 2 key wide receivers. They're also going to be out there, all MAC offensive tackle, plus a defensive lineman and linebacker. Miami O backup Henry Henson was ineffective in the MAC title game. Redshirt freshman Thomas Gatkowski has been inaccurate, seen limited action as a third-string quarterback. Each coaching staff are intact for the Arizona Bowl. The Bulldogs quarterback E.J. Warner has been accurate his past 2 games. To me, just too many key opt-outs on the Redhawks side. I would lay it here with Fresno State. I'd rather lay it than take it here based on the opt-outs for Miami, Ohio. All right, let's continue here on the Tony Hicks Morning Show here. Folks looking here at the Cavs to get it done here. Appreciate your contribution. Look at the NBA in a little bit. Next up, we'll look here at the New Mexico Bowl played in Albuquerque here between North Texas and San Diego State. You have North Texas open 3.5. Now they're up to 6.5. Total sits here at 53. And we've got, gave you the weather. Both teams have several opt-outs. 2 members of the Mean Green defensive line have hit the portal. 2 receivers and quarterback Drew Messenmaker have hit the portal, but there are reports that Messenmaker will play in this game. So keep an eye on that. San Diego State quarterback Jaden Denigal is out due to shoulder surgery. They also lost 2 receivers to injury. 2 edge corners and a safety have opted out. North Texas head coach Eric Morris has left the team for Oklahoma State and will use an interim. So interim coach here for North Texas there. Bert Emanuel Jr. gets a starter quarterback for the Aztecs. Emanuel Jr. is more of a run threat, but Senegal was inaccurate at quarterback this season. There's been talk that he's been playing through injuries anyway, but I was not at all impressed with the San Diego State passing game. Was horrible. And with North Texas utilizing the interim, that means assistants will likely be looking for jobs elsewhere. Aztecs have a good running attack and defense. Adding the dimension of a running quarterback, I think, is a plus. I'd rather have this running quarterback than Denigal, because Senegal is just a down waster, really. He's just been ineffective passer all season. So there's no way I can look at North Texas North Texas here. Too many points to lay, because especially with a ground and pound strategy, that's how you keep the offense off the field. Messenmaker, I believe, is going to play. Last check, I've got him in as playing this game, but still, I don't think he's going to have as many opportunities, because I just think San Diego State is just going to ground it. It's going to be it's looking more and more like a Rocky Long type of Aztecs team, the way they run the ball. They have not shown any type of passing game, but that's okay, because I'd rather have a running team face this high explosive North Texas passing game. But again, too many opt-outs on North Texas. Coaches gone, substitute teachers, assistants looking for jobs. Give me San Diego State. And our man, he's up, likes money line. I wouldn't. Hey, that's not bad. I'd say the same thing for you there. I would not argue that one bit, especially with this young coach at San Diego State wanting to win a bowl game. I think it's a big throw for them to go 9-3 and to make a bowl game after his first season was a disaster. But he actually had a pretty good turnaround. But again, the passing game's got to improve there, because you're not going to have a lot of success just running the ball like Rocky Long did over there. All right, let's take a look here at the Gator Bowl. Hey, the best bowl game so far of the bowl season is the Gator Bowl. We got Virginia and Missouri. Missouri is going to lay. They opened 7, but this one's come down to 3.5 and 4. Total sits at 44. Here in the Gator Bowl, we're looking at 70 degrees, little to no wind. Virginia will be without a defensive end of the portal and linebacker to injury. They have a running back and receiver questionable here. Missouri will be without starting quarterback Bo Brula, who hits the portal. They'll also be without 2 good receivers and a reserve receiver. Tigers, they're going to be without their tight end and linebacker to injury. Matt Zollers will make his third career start. He's completed 50% of his passes for 6.1 yards per pass, but he was more effective coming in relief in that Vanderbilt game. He did not play good against Missouri and against Texas A&M and Mississippi State when he was pegged the starting quarterback. So when they had film on him, he did not look very good. Missouri will be without their offensive coordinator, and 2 more offensive coaches have left the program. The Cavs coaching staff is intact here. I would rather take the points here with Virginia plus the 4 in this one. All right, let's continue here on Toix Morning Show. They need to pay players for bowl games so they can be watchable. Yeah, they got to do that. But some of these guys, I think they can make more. Well, I think it's got to be in these NIL contracts. To me, I have to look at these NIL contracts. If you give these players millions of dollars, I don't know how you let them leave and you don't ask for your money back from these guys. To me, I think it's these guys giving the NIL money. Give them a contract. Make them play. That's all you got to do. Or make it backloaded. You have to play in the bowl game or you lose half your money. All you got to do is just change the contract. So at some point, these donors are going to smarten up and say, hey, wait a minute. I'm giving money to guys that are leaving the program. I need stuff written in this contract to protect that from happening. To me, if you're a booster giving millions of dollars, you're doing terrible due diligence, not making sure these guys stay in the program. I just don't understand this stuff, man. It's just guys are just signing checks and not asking for anything in return. I'll play golf with the coach. Invite me to all your parties. No, if he transfers, it's okay. I'll just send you another $20 million next year. To me, it just seems this, and the guys giving the money to the NIL is just a joke. It's just a total joke. All right, let's continue on. Last bowl game for today is LSU in Houston, Texas Bowl. We got Houston at about a pick 'em. We're seeing 1.5 on the Houston side now, total 42. Now, a lot of opt-outs here from LSU. They're just a 7-5 team, a complete mess over there. It is played in a retractable roof stadium in Houston. Roof is usually closed for this bowl game, so I don't think there will be weather will be an issue in this one. LSU, a slew of opt-outs. Starting quarterback Gary Nussmeier, he's another one whose draft stock is dropped. He should be playing because he may go in the second day. I don't know if he's a first rounder anymore. Well, maybe so because you know how these teams are desperate. But Nussmeier is going to get ready for the NFL draft. Maybe he's the next Jets quarterback. We'll see. 6 defensive players have opted out for the NFL draft. That's what LSU does. They put a lot of defensive guys in the NFL. So 6 defensive players out for LSU. Also, a key receiver is opted out for the NFL draft as well. So 7 starters, actually now 7, make it 8 starters opt out from LSU to get ready for the draft. Also, 2 reserve corners and receivers hit the portal, I should say. So I guess these backups who probably would have played, they're upset not getting playing time, so they leave the program. So it impacts LSU's depth at the receiver and the cornerback position. A center and tight end opt out for Houston, as does the defensive end. But the rest of the team here for Houston is intact. LSU will be utilizing an interim coach who leaves the program after the bowl game for Ole Miss. So there you go. That's the way it looks here. Both coordinators are intact for Houston with head coach Willie Fritz. So you got a lot of stability there with Houston, the head coach, both coordinators. It just seems like a lot of chaos surrounding this LSU program with the high-profile hire of Lane Kiffin, uncertainty surrounding the roster, assistant coaches going to other teams next season. The Tigers quarterback ineffectiveness is a concern as well here as well for LSU because like I said, it's a complete mess there for this LSU program. I can only look at Houston in this spot. That's the only way I can look at it here. You've got. I know. I'm not saying a whole lot about these players on the teams I'm picking. It's because it's just looking at these teams with a lot of turnover. Turnover leads to chaos. No different in the playing field as it is in the workplace, right? No doubt. Yeah, we get Simp Fly here with a point here. Yeah, if they leave the program, they're not entitled to their money, and NIL is all paid up front. However, they agreed they need to add contract regardless. That's the big issue with the portal. Yeah, it is upfront money. Jesus Christ. Man, listen, man, if you're a donor, how can you donate money like this, knowing what's going on? All it needs is one situation like we saw with Troy Aikman. He got fleeced. He says, I'm never going to do this again. you might rethink it if you had a better contract. You got to be smarter, Troy, when you give your money out. Okay, you should know better. You know this game. Guys are opting out, not playing bowl games. Make sure that's in the contract. He's sitting here blaming the system. You got to blame yourself, dude. You're that stupid to just give money and not protect that from happening. I don't know, man. Some of these dudes need to be smarter with their money. That's right. I agree there with he's up. We'll see if kids want to show up for Kiffin's next. That's true. That's true. But some of these guys, some of the best talent left the program, though. That's what I'm worried about. Yep. Give Trey another. Okay, we're getting the NFL there. There we go with Simply. Exactly. You can't blame the system. You got to blame the people donating the money for not doing their due diligence. There we go. Yeah. Yep. That's happened. Well, just look at what Dillingham did with ASU, begging for $25 million check from a rich guy. That's what it's come to. But at some point, to me, I'm afraid they're going to kill the golden goose with the donors, right? At some point, the donors are going to get ripped off so many times. They're going to say, forget it. I'm not giving you any money. You sit down, give up all this millions of dollars. You see the guy leave, not play. What do you feel like an idiot if you donate the money? At some point, you're going to kill the golden goose. The golden goose are all these millionaires donating to the program. At some point, that's what you're going to do. You're going to kill the golden goose, which might not be a bad thing, to be honest with you. I give the money to education than instead of players. The whole system's screwed up. That's how I look at it. That could have gone. Just think how much you could have improved society donating that money to education versus to some guy who can play football, right? That's another discussion. But I've been. But again, if I was a donor, I would look to donate to the educational side versus the athletic side. I just can't know what's between these guys. I know what it is. It's all about gaining influence over the program and an ego thing for these donors. But still. Come on, man. It's just, you got to wonder what these guys, what goes through their mind. You made this money, why you just throwing it away for nothing? All right, let's continue here on Tony's Morning Show as we move on over to the NBA 9-game card. A lot of back-to-back scenarios here today in the NBA here. So we'll get the games up for you, right? Yeah, give it to the teachers, Cal Dog. I believe with you 100%. I feel bad for those universities and those teachers, instructors out there watching money just get burned in the air to guys guys like Pavia that go and bullet at clubs and, exactly right. I want to get more into that, but, that's the way society is these days. Improve society, give it to education versus the players. All right, let's continue here on Tony's Smoke. I'll give some of the players, but you know what I'm talking about. Just don't get crazy over this. All right, let's go. Mavericks and Kings here. We got Mavericks laying 3 on the road, total 232.5. In this one, we got, let's see, Irving out. He's going to be on the injury report all season, pretty much looks that way. Williams doubtful, Davis questionable. Sacramento, we got Eubanks, Levine, Murray, Sabonis out. And also their second-year guy, Devin Carter, there is questionable there for this Sacramento team. Now, let's see what we're going to go in this spot. I'm going to look at the Kings here at +3. I'm not really a fan of Dallas on the road, just 3-10, a -6.5 net rating. Struggles generating offense here on the road. Mavs lost 4 of 6 with issues turning the ball over. You saw that in that, and they couldn't make threes. You saw that in that Christmas Day game. Kings have covered 3 of 4 with improved defense. The Mavs over the past 2 weeks, just 29% from 3. Cooper Flag just can't do it himself here. So I'll look at I'm going to look here at the side here for the Sacramento Kings. All right, let's get to the Suns. And next one up we have here, Suns and Pelicans. We got Green out. How did New Orleans not cover that game yesterday? My goodness. Grayson Allen questionable. DeJounte Murray out. Jones here is questionable in the Suns and Pelicans game. And in this one, I'm going to be looking here at the Pelicans again. I'm going to come back with them at that +5.5. New Orleans, I know, has been rough at home, 6-13, a -3.5 net rating. The Suns, 7-8 on the road, a -4 net rating. Suns have covered 4 straight with good defense. Pelicans have covered 10 of 13 behind good shooting and defense. You look at the Suns over the past 2 weeks, just 31% from 3. But Pelicans over this period hitting 48% overall, and they're doing a good job of defending a 3-point line, allowing 28%. I'll look at New Orleans here, coming back here at the +5.5. All right, let's continue here on Tony's Morning Show as we continue on with the next game up will be Cleveland here. And I want to go with Cleveland game, right? That's next on my notes. Cleveland and let's go Cavaliers and the Rockets here as we're getting into that 5 o'clock and 8 o'clock Eastern time start here. Let's see what we got in injuries here. Nance and Strus are out for Cleveland. Van Fleet out. Sengun questionable there for Houston. And I like Cleveland on Christmas Day. I'm going to come again here with Cleveland as well, taking the points. We haven't seen Cleveland as a dog of more than one possession. Actually, it happened twice this year. They covered both times against the Knicks, and they were a 5-point dog against Miami. You're going to give me points that, like with Cleveland, I got to take them, even though they're just 6 and 7 on the road. But they do have a plus 2.5 net rating. Houston coming off a road trip, first game back. They failed to cover 6 of 8 with spots of poor defense. I'll look at Cleveland here to get it done, taking the points. All right, next game up, we'll look at the Bucks and the Bulls. And let's take a look here at Bucks and Bulls for today. And Bucks and the Bulls. Where are we at here? Bucks. Milwaukee and Chicago. We have we've got Prince out, but we have seen some upgrades here. Trent questionable, and Giannis has been upgraded to questionable here. So he's dealing with that calf injury. He could return on Saturday. He's got that strain there. They're always worried about torn ACL. So anytime you're dealing with calf injuries, you're going to see guys sit. So Giannis is questionable here. Chicago's still coming in with a clean injury report. So we've seen that line move a little bit here in this one. And we have in this game, in this Bulls game, we see the Bulls sitting now coming down from 6 down to 3.5 with that Giannis news. Doesn't matter. I still like the Bulls in this game. I'm not worried. This Bucks team is bad. 4-11 on the road, a -8 net rating. We've seen the Bulls 8-6 at home this year. The Bucks over the past 2 weeks, just 44% from the field, 32% from three. Bulls shooting the ball well, 50%, giving up just 34% there in this spot. Both teams on back-to-backs here. We saw Milwaukee just lose by 21 in Memphis. Good fourth quarter here for the Bulls. It was a close game. They pulled away late. They went at 109-102. I'll look at the Bulls here laying this threes here. Again, I just like the Bulls form now. I don't like to see what's going on here with the with this Milwaukee team. Yeah, that Phoenix Suns game was insane here. Yeah, I know. Fixed job, right? Yep. No about that one. Chase free throws, no cover that one. Exactly. That was a bad one. That would burn me because I covered with the Bulls. I felt like I had a 2-0 day turned to a 1-1. Yeah, he'll be on restricted minutes. Yes, they're worried about those calf injuries in the NBA. No doubt about that. Restricted minutes because I guess there's been some reports saying that calf injuries can lead to Achilles tears. So these dudes are scared to death of these calf injuries. All right, we're gonna look at Pacers and the Heat today. Next one up with the Pacers, we got Obi Toppin out. Nesmith, Shepard are doubtful. Jackson here is questionable. On the Heat side, Rozier out. Adebayo and Hero are both questionable there in that one. And let's take a look here at these at the line here with Pacers. Heat. The Pacers looked horrible last night. And Heat going to lay 8.5. A total to 30.5. That's a big number there with the Miami Heat. Both teams in a back-to-back. Although this is a different style of Heat team that we've seen in recent years. With this in here, an open 8.5, still 8.5. Let's see what we got here in Pacers and the Heat. Miami has been 10-5 at home. A little disappointing because they had a real quick start to the season here. This Pacer team. Did I go through the injuries yet here? I don't think I did. Okay, here we go with the injuries. Toppin out here for the Pacers. Nesmith and Shepard doubtful. Jackson here. Isaiah Jackson is questionable for the Heat. We know Rozier is still out. He probably will not play again in the NBA. Hero and Adebayo both questionable there for Miami, but we'll see what happens here in the back-to-back spot in this one. I'm going to go under 231 here with the Pacers and the Heat. Miami averaging just 113 points per 100 possessions, just a plus 1.5 net rating here at home. So we've seen Miami kind of struggle of late after that fast start. Pacers have failed to cover 5 of 7 with poor shooting. They have some defensive issues as well. But they've gone under in 6 of 9. They're just not shooting the basketball. Heat have gone under in 9 of 11. Poor shooting. Yeah, that's been the case with these teams. They're not shooting the ball very well. Matter of fact, the Pacers over the past 2 weeks, just over 42%, just 29% from three. What a difference, right? Without Halliburton. My goodness. Heat over this period hitting just 43%. These teams aren't shooting well. I'll go under there with the Indiana and Miami under 231. All right, let's take a look here at this Knicks and Hawks game tonight. We'll give you the line here, and then we'll get to the injuries. Knicks going to lay 6.5. There's our sevens popping up, total 241 in this game. Look at the injuries here between the Knicks and the Hawks. And in this one, we've got Hart and Shamet out for New York. McBride is questionable. We've seen a little upgrade on McBride here. Porzingis, here's a big upgrade. Porzingis here, probable. So we could see Porzingis back in the lineup here for the Hawks. Matter of fact, if Porzingis goes, they'll have a clean injury report. Surprising since it's a back-to-back spot here, but looks that to be the way here for Atlanta here. And in this one, New York 5-7 on the road, but they average 117 points per 100 possessions, pretty much a flat rating. Atlanta just 5-10 at home, a -4.5 net rating. Defense is the issue, but they do play at a fast pace at home. Do these Hawks, they continue to do that. New York has gone over in 6 of 8 with good shooting. Hawks have gone over in 6 of 9 with bad defense. You look over the past 2 weeks, Knicks hitting 49%, 40% from 3. Hawks over this period hitting 50%, averaging 130 points a game. I'm giving up 130 points a game, I should say, and 40% from 3. I could see New York put up a huge number here in this one. I like the over here with New York and Atlanta over the 241 in that one. All right, let's continue on here on the Tony Morning Show. Ron thinks that Hero may play today, and he'll be leaning on Miami side. We'll see if that's the case. Jazz and the Spurs tonight. Boy, those Jazz, overcame a little bit of a deficit to get it done. I know Ron Hahn's got to be horrible, upset today with his Pistons, the way they've blew that game against the Jazz. They looked like they were in control of that game, but Utah gets it done. Always a good home dog there with the Jazz over the years. Utah, Ace Bailey is questionable, not Ace Frehley. Ace Bailey is the guy for the Utah Jazz, questionable. Niang still out. Just Aaron Fox shows up on the injury report for San Antonio as questionable today for San Antonio, coming off that win against OKC on that Christmas Day. It will be rest advantage here for the Spurs. The Spurs have been good at home, 11-2, average 121 points per 100 possessions, a plus 9.5 net rating. Utah, just a 3-9 road team, give 121 points per 100 possessions. But the Jazz have covered 5-7 with spots of good shooting. The Spurs, well, they were last time we saw them as a 16-point favorite. That's where they're at right now, 16.5, total 243.5. Spurs favored. They didn't cover against Washington, winning by 11 as a 16-point favorite. That's just too many points to lay in an NBA regular season game. Even after San Antonio come off a huge win at OKC, I'll take Utah here plus the 16.5. Just too many points to lay there with a Utah team that looks to want to try. At least they got the win last night. Of course, you got to worry about energy, but hey, they spread the minutes out in the NBA these days. All right, let's continue here on Tony's Morning Show. We'll close out NBA with this final one between the T-Wolves and the Nets here, and we'll give you the line, then we'll give you the injuries, and then the pick. We've got in this one, Minnesota is now 10.5. There's some 11s popping up, total 225.5, although 224.5, it's steamed down over at Pinnacle. So we've seen some movement to the under, although it did open 223, then steamed up to the over to begin in the betting cycle. All right, let's take a look here at Nets and T-Wolves. Injury report showing here just Highsmith out here for Brooklyn. So we're going to see Claxton Clowney in the game. Let's see what the situation here is with Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas coming off the bench looking at 20 minutes. So Cam Thomas coming back to lineup here for the Brooklyn Nets. So he is no longer on this injury report, just Highsmith there for Brooklyn. This is about as healthy as they've been all season, these Nets. For Minnesota, no Shannon. Conley and Edwards questionable. Let's take a look here at what Ed's going on with Edwards. Probably that foot again. Let's see. A shoulder this time. So now it's a shoulder for Edwards. Shoulder soreness, and could miss his fourth game in December, right? He was dealing with that foot soreness. Now the soreness has moved to his shoulder. So we'll see what happens there for this for Anthony Edwards here with that shoulder now. Him and Conley are questionable. I'll tell you what goes on here in this game, how I like it. Yeah, I'm going to look here at the points here with Brooklyn. I mentioned to you how that they got their Cam Thomas back, although Minnesota is 12-5 at home. Here, both teams coming in with rested. This is not a back-to-back for either team. Brooklyn 5-8 on the road, averaging 113 points per 100 possessions. They've covered 4 of 6 behind good defense. T-Wolves have failed to cover 7-11. Issue shooting the basketball, especially with that situation with Edwards. I can only look at Brooklyn here at plus the 10. And Edwards questionable there. Ron Hahn thinking it might happen. Hey, no response from Ron Hahn with that Pistons collapse last night. We'll see what happens there. All right, let's continue on. You're on Tony's Morning Show. College basketball, there is a single game here with CSUN taking on Stanford. Then tomorrow we should see more games that we got tomorrow coming up. Yeah, we're going to have a laundry list of games tomorrow, although a lot of D2 games here against Division I opponents. So a lot of D1s taking on the D2s. But tomorrow we'll have some games. Actually, the top-rated game tomorrow is San Francisco and Seattle and St. Mary's and Loyola and Marymount. So it's kind of a weak mid-major card tomorrow. Maryland's about the only, and Oregon. There's a few, but a lot of not competitive matchups in dealing with the major conferences tomorrow. But we got CSUN and we got Stanford. This is your degenerate game right here. Stanford plays with their food. Yeah, I've heard that before, right? They do. Can you trust Northridge on the road? That's my concern in this game. But this one's moved to 17 now in some spots, 16.5. You're dealing here with a standalone game. My initial lean here was Stanford. That's about it. I don't have a confident pick on this game. I would just lean it that way. They have wins against Colorado by 11. They beat UT Arlington by 16 at home. They lost UNLV at home by a point. They beat Portland by 22 at home. They beat Louisiana by 27 at home. So they picked up Montana. They beat Montana, who is usually a pretty good Summit team. They beat them by 23 at home. So they've shown the ability to blow out teams. They force turnovers. They're great on the glass on both ends. They hit their threes. The defense not so good from three. But the game with CSUN, the one that bothers me has been their road appearances. They lost in their Big West road opener. They lose by 14 at UC Irvine. That concerns me. They lost to Idaho State there in Boise, Idaho by 32. They lost by 14 to Idaho in Boise. Against Dakota State, they lost on the road. They lost by 22. They lost by 29 against Northern Iowa on the road. And this Northridge team, terrible defending threes, terrible defending twos. They can't make threes. They don't force turnovers. 304th in the nation in enforcing turnovers. So not a whole lot of ball pressure. I got to look at Stanford in this spot. I mean, I just don't like what I've seen from this Northridge team on the road. Although they did have a recent win at Delaware, but for the most part, not a whole lot to bank here with this CSUN team having to go on the road here. Probably it's going to Stanford. Shouldn't be too bad getting a flight out of Burbank. Actually, probably did fly out of Burbank here in Christmas, all the Christmas rush there, getting out there to the Bay Area. They got Stanford here on Saturday, and then they got UC Davis on Thursday. So I got to wonder if I think they're more interested in these Big West games coming up next week against UC Davis and UC Santa Barbara, because they start Big West here at 1-1. They beat Bakersfield at home, but they got blown out at UC Irvine there. But I'm not a big fan of this Big West. It seems to me that this conference does not shoot the ball very well. It's been pretty poor shooting team. All right, let's continue here on tonight's morning show. We covered all I can cover because I'm not an NHL guy. But if you want the NHL, be sure to stay tuned here for the Daily Dangle. This one at 1 p.m. each time. Rod will host that. This big slate of hockey. The first game starts at 6:07 Eastern time, so you'll have plenty of time to get down on these games as Rod will come in on the show here, and he will get you those NHL games. Lots of games here on the board, as he told you on his last appearance that he will be here for the Daily Dangle. So get you covered here from the NHL. So 1 p.m. Eastern time for our NHL coverage here. I think I've got you everything, right? We got NFL covered, NBA covered, college football covered, college basketball even covered. So let's see what we got here as far as the parlay. On my first leg of the parlay will be on the Ravens plus the points, although we lost the hook. I think it's come down to 3 now. So we see a lot of juice on that 3. So wait for the hook on that one if you can. And we'll look for the NBA here. We will take the points here with the Pelicans again. Hope we don't blow that one like we did last night. But I still like their points. I like the way they've been playing of late, plus the points there. And give me the Bulls here to get it done. Even if Giannis comes back, again, minutes restriction, that'll be my 3-teamer. Again, Knicks losing against the Hawks. I like a lot of points. I like a lot of points in that game. I would actually it's a tricky game because Porzingis is coming back, but it's a back-to-back here for the Hawks, rest here for the Knicks. But, man, the Knicks have been on the road a lot, right? They finished their trip, the Vegas trip, all road games. They come home for Christmas, then they go back on the road again. So, to me, I don't like teams that do that. They come in for that one-game homestand. I think there's a lot. I think the defense will be lax a little bit today. I like the over in that game more than any side here, but kind of a tricky spot there. for the Knicks hitting the road after that Christmas game and coming off a road trip, that Vegas trip, right? They didn't cover, I don't think, any of those games in there since that Vegas trip, right? They have had some struggles there covering games. All right, got you the parlay. Guys, just remember, head on over to our site at TonyPicks.com if you're looking for our best bets and our premium plays. They're there. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. We greatly appreciate that. It really helps us build up our audience. Thumbs up if you would. All right. Now, of course, visit our YouTube channel for a lot more content up there. Guys, I invite you to do that. Go on over to YouTube, and then over on the YouTube channel, we've got, let's go ahead and hit YouTube. And over there on the YouTube, we've got a lot of great content. Of course, our live shows. When you land on our homepage, this is where you want to go to because you'll be able to find our compilation videos. We've got N college football. We got NBA going up as we speak for today. And my deeper dives on these games. Props. Chris coming in with his props today from the NHL as well as the NFL. So he's ready to roll here with props on the show today, on the channel today. NFL free picks. Ramon in there. We got Alessandro in there. Myself as well with the free picks from the NFL college football playlist. Resuming here today with Ramon, giving you entire bowl coverage as I am as well as Alessandro. So we're loaded here, guys. Get all our different opinions here on these bowl games. NBA, I'm in there today. Ramon is in there. You're going to see Alessandro in there as well. So, man, we're loaded. We're really loaded on our playlist today. College basketball. We got the college basketball pick show today here from Alessandro, looking at that game between Stanford as well. We've got also NHL. Ramon's got you covered today. NHL on demand. A full slate here of NHL coverage here from Ramon. Big Alessandro also came in with some NHL picks, but Ramon's got you covered as well as Rod will come in later with the Daily Dangle. Our videos, our shorts are loaded here today with Alessandro and myself in there with the shorts, as well as more and more coverage here over on the Tony's YouTube channel. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. We greatly appreciate that. And of course, over on the live side, we've got our live show here. Daily Dangle with Rod coming up here at 1 p.m. Eastern time. So make a note, set notifications so you get the complete rundown from the NHL from Rod with the Daily Dangle 1 p.m. Eastern time. We got to get those goalies confirmed. Rod will be ready to go. We'll see if we get some guests for you. Sometimes we'll have some guests in there with him with the Daily Dangle. So check it out. Of course, our morning show, Alessandro with his look ahead Sunday through Friday here, midnight Eastern time. Alessandro with a good rundown, complete rundown of the games. Check them out. Night Moves with Ramon and DeAndre, a complete rundown on the entire card from both of them. So some live shows that are archived for you guys to watch with complete game rundowns for today. So not just want my opinion, but we give you other people from our cappers, the community here at TonySports.com on the board here. Happy Hour comes back on Monday. So, guys, 5 live shows. Make sure you hit that live tab to watch them. Now, if you rather do it on podcasts, I'll tell you, our podcast gets more views than anything, man. My goodness, the podcast, hit the subscribe. And, of course, all of our playlists are on podcasts, so you can find it out. Night Moose Show, Ramon's Picks, my picks, our live show. A lot of content here on the podcast. So check it out, guys, as we've got a lot of plays for you guys there. So check it out on our live podcast, if you would. Like and subscribe. Also would greatly appreciate that if you would. And, of course, hit that notification, and so you get notified when our live shows are on the air. All right, guys, with you here Monday through every day here on the show, Tony's YouTube channel. We're back again tomorrow, so hit that like, hit subscribe. Appreciate everybody here in the chat here with their plays. Of course, I appreciate CalDoc. Appreciate much for your Christmas card. Appreciate that. They're not in too much trouble. Not in too much trouble. It's been a long holiday for these guys, so they're fine. Actually, I just throw it out there. Thanks again to Andrew as well. Time to finish shuffling the hay. That's right. Shovel the hay out there as well. Ram Davis here as well. And, of course, we got 5 picks before we go. Gave me the picks already, guys. Go back and watch the show. An hour of free picks from every game, pretty much every game on the NFL, college football, NBA card. Maybe he's asking the chat to get you some picks. And we gave you the 3 that we like there in the board. All right. We got you through it. We're back again tomorrow live here at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. 10 games from the NBA, NFL, college football, some hockey. So tune in, like, and subscribe. All right. Thanks to everybody in the chat. Going to wait. Goodbye, guys. You guys make it a winning one. We're back tomorrow here on the